In this video, I will show you everything you need to know about selling digital items on Etsy. From setting up your Etsy shop to getting suspended, then getting it back, finding a niche using different tools, optimizing your listing, and how to create your first files and products, and making that first Etsy sale. I know this can be very confusing and definitely very overwhelming and you're not sure where to start, but in this video I will walk you through everything very simply and slowly, and by the end of this video you're ready to start your own Etsy shop. Here are all of the subjects we're going to talk about. In my last video, I showed how I made 90k in my first 4 months being open on Etsy. And this was actually all through selling digital products on Etsy. I have been selling online for the past 5 years starting off the age of 18. And in this video, I will share everything I have learned in the past few years and share my knowledge in this video. Especially selling on Etsy as I've been an active seller there for a good number of years. So let's start with the absolute basics here. What are digital products? So digital products on Etsy are items you can buy, download and use instantly. Unlike physical products, these are digital, so there's no need for shipping involved. And common types of digital products on Etsy include printable wall art, templates, knitting pattern, sewing patterns, and a lot more. So once you buy them, you can just download the file, use and print at home or take it to a professional printer. But for sellers like you and maybe me, this is great because we can sell the same item over and over again without worrying about stock or shipping. So it's just selling the same item over and over again, and this basically is passive income. But the buyers also benefit from digital products because once they buy the product, there's no shipping, so they just get the file instantly, and that's very much appreciated. Plus, many digital products can be customized, so making it easy to make something personalized. So let's break it down how it actually works. For example, take printable wall art, a very popular category. So imagine a seller on Etsy maybe designs a piece of artwork or maybe took some picture in the nature of some animals. Then they upload it as a digital file on Etsy, and once they have done that, buyers can just buy and use the file instantly. They can either print it themselves at home or take it to a professional printer. So you actually just buy the right to print it, display it and enjoy it, but you're not receiving anything physical in the mail. What is Etsy and why should you consider it? So the funny part is I have been in your shoes just a couple of years ago and I know how it feels. You have probably been searching on YouTube on how to make money online and stumble upon on dropshipping, affiliate marketing, Amazon FBA and everything in the whole making money online jungle. And if I were you, I would absolutely start with Etsy and then later proceed to my own website. This is a tip I wished I have received back in the days, but now you received it, so please thank me later. So what exactly is Etsy and why should you consider it? Instead of making an example your own website. So Etsy is an online marketplace focused on vintage, unique items and definitely handmade. It's an excellent platform for creative entrepreneurs like you and me selling digital items, vintage, print on demand, t-shirt, handmade and everything in between. As of 2023, Etsy had over 95 million active buyers worldwide, and that's actually crazy that you and me are receiving such a massive audience from day one. So why should you choose Etsy over maybe creating your own website? Well, the thing is that with Etsy, it's very beginner friendly. There's no need for setting up your own website, handling payment systems like Stripe and just advanced settings right in the beginning, which is not what you should focus on right now. Etsy takes care of all of that, so you can just focus on making the best products. So the second reason is that Etsy already has built-in trust. It's a well-known established platform, making it easier for you to start selling even if you're just starting out. With almost 8 million active sellers, you will be part of a community that shares and help each other grow, like this YouTube video. So what's so great about Etsy in my opinion is that it's already have built-in traffic. Getting traffic to your own website can be an absolute pain in the ass. I spent over 30 grand a month last year on TikTok ads alone, and it just gave me so much headache and it's not worth it. Just start with Etsy and it will already attract all of the buyers to your shop. Etsy even provides search ads and SEO, so your products get in front of the right customers. Before I show you how to create your own Etsy account, it's just one last thing about Etsy, and it's that it's very affordable for new sellers. I know some of you guys are maybe on a tight budget, and the thing about Etsy, it just costs 20 cents per listing item, and that's super cheap. So there's no need for large upfront investments or anything like that. It's super affordable and it's definitely doable for you guys. So if we summarize everything I just talked about, is that in short, Etsy is the perfect place just to start. It's very affordable, it has millions of buyers worldwide, and it's very beginner friendly. How to create an Etsy seller account. So okay, now we got that out of the way. So I hope that you understand what digital product is and why Etsy is a great platform. Now you maybe think you're ready to sell on Etsy, but how do you actually do it? So before I show you how to actually create an Etsy seller account, I want you to do one thing, and that is go over to Etsy and just look at the website, okay? And take it a bit slow, you don't need to stress this. I know you guys are probably excited, but just go over to Etsy, type something in the search bar and just see how the website feels and looks. Because the thing is, me as a seller, I can't look at Etsy as a buyer anymore. I just see the stats, titles, everything in between. So let's get to the juicy part, how to create an Etsy seller account. So after that, either go to sell on Etsy or click on sign in the top right corner. Write in all of the information there as your name, password and email. Once you have created your account, click in the top right corner, then click on the profile picture and then click on sell on Etsy and then get started. So let's do this. You can either skip this question or answer them. I will just answer them very quickly. Then click on start your shop, then choose your language, country and currency. Most of you guys are probably from the UK or US. If you're not, just choose your local currency. If you want, you can always change this later on, so no need to worry. Click on save and continue. Okay, so the fun part, name your Etsy shop. You can name your Etsy shop something unique or something that you have in mind. But the thing with Etsy is that the name is actually not super important. I have seen sellers with thousands of sales that just have numbers as their name. But you and me are actually professional and you want your shop to look branded. So choose something that is creative and has a professional look. And a tip here is that if you're stuck on this process, there's a website called Namelix and check it out and try for yourself. After that, click on save and continue. And this is a very strange part of opening your Etsy shop, is that they already want to have your listing ready. And I know some of you guys are probably just following along this video and this can be very confusing. But just take it easy and click as I do. Click on digital file, write digital print in category, then click I did, a finished product, made to order, created by me, then click on save and continue. So what you're basically doing right now is creating a listing. This is the same process for everyone. Later on you will understand everything you're doing right now, but just now we want to create the account. So in the title write digital, upload a black or white picture, and please don't upload anything that others are not supposed to see here, okay? Thanks. Just write digital in the description, just enter a random number and choose one on quantity. In the text write digital, then click on save and continue. So great job, you just created your first listing, maybe without knowing it, but it's okay, you just created your first listing. So this is actually just a test listing and nothing serious, but it's actually how the process works, but we just wanted to create this test listing so we can open our shop. Then click on do this later. So then to the fun part, which is of course the money part. Choose your bank location and this is where you're from. For the tag purposes, click on individual. And here is a tips for all of the European sellers that maybe want to start selling on Etsy, is just that if you already have a registered business, just still click on individual. Then basically just give all of the information about yourself, and this part you can do without me, I hope. Then do all of the bank information. This part you have to do without me and make sure it's correct. If you write something wrong, it's actually totally okay, as you can change this later on. So no need to worry, but still try to make it correct the first time, please. Click on save and continue. Then you have to verify your identity, either with taking a picture of your passport or pose for a selfie. Unfortunately, I can't go longer on this process because I already have 3 Etsy accounts and don't want to make one more. But just verify your identity, add your billing information, and just a simple step later on. You can make this without me. I trust in you. Also remember to verify your email from Etsy, explaining Etsy Shop Manager. And remember guys to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will really much appreciate it. Okay, awesome. You have now created your own Etsy seller account and you're ready to start selling. But before I show you how to actually create listing, I just going to explain the Etsy Shop Manager. So I will keep this simply and fast, so keep focus. Etsy dashboard. Here you will see all of the recent activities as favorites, sales and reviews, etc. and the stats. Listing. Here's the process of uploading a listing, what you basically did before. A listing basically means a product. So here is where you publish what you want to sell. Messages. If you compare Etsy to other platforms or maybe your own website, I have noticed at least that Etsy buyers really love to message. They are very active and like to ask questions. And here is a quick tip. I just love giving these quick tips. And that is when you create your account, Etsy's scammer bots will start messaging you about different kind of stories and just trying to get your card information and just scam you. So please don't fall for it, and if you're unsure about it, just write to the Etsy support and they will check it out. But please be very careful as it happens to everyone. Orders. This is the place where you will see all of your orders and all of the information about your orders. So you will see the last day of shipping you have to do and everything else. Under completed, guess what you see there? That's right, you see completed orders. As you can see, I have plenty of completed orders here. Etsy search visibility. It's not something that we're going to put time on right now, so we will get back to this later. Stats is where you get useful stats, shop follows, favorites, sales, everything in between. Customer service stats. So what this basically is that you show Etsy buyers that you're a serious seller. And if you are a good seller with speedy replies, fast shipping and good reviews, you will receive a little star called the star seller, and that basically shows that you are a serious seller. To get the little star, the star seller, you have to have 95% of speedy replies, which means you have to reply within 24 hours, 4.8 average in customer service, the stars, and then ship on time on all of the orders. And don't have many cases, I forgot that. And please note that not receiving the Etsy star seller is not end of the world, okay? It's totally okay. I have missed it a lot. I don't even have it right now, if I'm going to be totally honest, and it's not end of the world. So don't worry about it if you don't receive it, but it's definitely something you should strive after. And the thing is that you get a new chance every month, so if you were unable to get it the last month, you will get a new chance this month and the next one. So don't need to worry about if you don't get it. The thing is, just focus on being the best sellers and it will totally work out, trust me. Then you have marketing, and there is a few options. The first is Etsy ads. This is the place if you want to start spending money on marketing, and you can have a budget of $1 to $25 in the start, and later on it will just rise, and in the end you will be able to have over $1,000 a day just on marketing. This will put your listing higher up in the search result, leading to more sales, hopefully. Sales and discount. This is very important part of business, especially if you have your own website, and it's called email marketing. Here you can run sales, create promo codes, abandon cart, which can be a very good strategy. As you can see, I made over 84 grand just from promotion. So don't skip this part and just have fun with it. Then you have social media. This part we can skip for now. Share and save, skip this part for now. Custom web address, skip this part for now. Growth tips, skip this for now. You're watching this video. So now we have finances, which also have other options. So the first one is payment account. Here you see all of your deposits and when you will receive the next deposit. Monthly statements. Shows you exactly what it's named after. Shows the monthly statements, the fees, the sales, the marketing and everything. Payment settings. Here it shows payment settings. Here you can choose how often you want the deposit to get to your bank. And if I remember correctly, it's once a day, once a week, every 2 weeks and once a month. And if you guys are on a tight budget, I would totally recommend just choose every day, as you just want the money to keep rolling in so you can start investing more and creating more listing and everything in between. So just choose every day if you're on a tight budget, but if you don't want to, you can still choose once a week or once a month. It's totally up to you guys. And for example, let's say you start selling on Etsy, then just 2 weeks later you have changed your bank. This is also where you change your bank. Just click on change bank and follow the instructions. Currency is the shop currency. Then billing is just billing information. Then billing is just your billing information. Then your address. Then we have integrations. For whatever reason, this part is totally slept on and I actually don't even know why. What made me create this video, or actually my channel, is that I want to show you guys how to actually start selling online and how to make money online legally. I don't know why, but nobody talks about taxes. So let's do it right now. And I think you don't want to mess this part up actually. I am from Sweden, as you may have noticed, and we have high taxes, and it's very important to us making sure all of the taxes is right. So basically what integration is that you can have a third-party provider helping you out with the bookkeeping, if you have that in the US, I don't know, and everything that you need for your taxes. But you can also find different tools like eRank, for example, which is great for optimizing your listing, your SEO and everything, and finding different kind of titles, niches and all of it. You don't need all of the tools, but if you have the money, I will totally recommend buying it and using it. And if you guys are from the US, you are very lucky because Etsy is of course an American platform and it's very optimized for all of the US sellers there, especially all of the third-party providers, and it just works great over there because if you're European, all of the third-party providers are kinda not on the good part, but it still works, but it's very optimized for the US. Here you can also track your expenses and making sure you are making a profit. They are just great tools. I won't show them in this video, but I will just put up some screenshots on different kind of YouTube videos you should watch about them, and they are just great. Then you have help, which is just standard support help, nothing special here. But then we have settings, and here is some juicy stuff. First one is subscription. This is for Etsy Plus and it's not needed, but it costs 10 bucks a month and it can be really useful if you guys have that spare money. I personally choose it for all of my shops. Info and appearance. This is where you can change your shop icon, shop name, make announcements to buyers, automatic message to buyers, etc, etc. This can be really great as you can just explain how to download the file after they made a purchase, or just send them a thank you note, for example. Then you have about your shop. I think this part is actually really important as here you can brand yourself and market your shop, because a lot of buyers on Etsy usually want to see who they are buying from and who they are supporting. So this is the place you actually want to market yourself and really brand the shop. Here you can add shop members, so for example you can just add yourself as a shop member, then write a short description. It could be anything fun or just who you are and what you like to do. It could be anything, so just have fun with it. It's not that serious. Then you have story, and unfortunately I have to blur this out so you guys won't find me. And then you have the shop story. This is where you can just write the story about your shop, on how you came about, or you maybe found a problem and then created a solution, and that's why you created your shop. It could be anything, but it's also a good place to actually market yourself and brand your shop really good. So I would definitely use it. At this stage, most of you guys probably don't have a video, but if you do, it's absolutely necessary. I had a video of a customer opening my package and basically doing a review of it in a video, and I use it there on my shop video, and it's really good as other buyers can see what they are receiving. And I asked for the permission and I was able to use it for my shop. Then we have options, a lot of them. The first option is custom orders. This basically means that a customer are able to make a custom order. So for example, let's imagine you're selling a t-shirt with a cat on it. Then the customer can make it a custom order and you basically add some type of personalization. It could be just a name under the cat or anything like that. Then you have gift wrapping, and it basically explains itself, and yes, you can set a price to it. It could be effective and you can definitely make higher profit margin, but this is of course for physical products and not digital, but good to know. Gift note also explains itself. It's just a basic gift note, nothing crazy, and yes, you can set your price here. So the listing, and this is so your buyers can see your sold listing, and I would definitely recommend having it on. Then you have your time zone, and mine is set to Stockholm, Sweden, and I think you guys noticed that by this time. Then we have shipping, and we will cover that later. Then we have policy. I recommend you to start with a simple policy, and cancellation can be set up to 7 days. Here I will also give my personal belief and maybe a tip for you guys. So basically, let's say you have set your cancellation policy to 24 hours, right? Then a customer comes 30 hours later and want to cancel the order. You guys probably think that, but my policy is set to 24 hours and I don't want to do the refund. Sorry for you. I personally believe that you should just do the damn refund. I know it sucks when customers do that because you're probably excited that you have received the order, but I would personally just do the refund. This has happened to me hundreds of times at this point, and it's just not worth it. Because the thing is, having good business manners will actually help you in the long run. You might lose the sale today, but you might receive the customers in the future and it will be a repeated customer. When I started my Etsy journey and customers wanted to do a refund after the cancellation policy, I actually did not do the refund. And what happened is that, let's imagine you sold for $30, right? And then you don't do the refund. Then the customer receives the item and they are probably super mad that you not do the refund even though they just asked for it a couple of hours after the policy. Then you receive a 1-star review and you look like a bad business, so it's not worth it at all. This will hurt your shop, your business, your ranking, so it's just a lose-lose situation. So basically what I'm saying, just cancel the order. And please note, if you're a European seller, you must offer 14 days cancellation. This is by the law, okay? Then you have get a payout policy and it's all available on the internet. Just do a quick Google search and you will find it. And remember guys, if you want help with your Etsy shop, I do have a Fiverr account and there I offer different kind of services, and check it out if you're interested and maybe need help. It's not necessary, but if you want, please check it out. Partners you work with. This if you're using print on demand, and one of my shop actually does. It might feel like I have done everything on Etsy, and that's basically true. I actually have one digital item, one embroidery, and one print on demand if you guys are wondering. So this step is not necessary if you're trying to do digital items, so just skip it. I will release a full video on how to do print on demand on Etsy and just show you all of the different kind of factories like Printful and Printify in the near future, so check it out. Okay, then we have off-site ads. If you're not a seller on Etsy, and I guess you're not because you're watching this video, is that off-site ads is actually a very hot topic on Etsy, and a lot of people are arguing in different kind of Facebook group, etc, and I feel like most of them don't understand how it really works, so I will explain it here so you guys won't be one of them. So off-site ads, I will just read a small part of the Etsy policy so you guys can actually just check it out for yourself. Etsy advertises listings throughout the web, including in search engine result, social media sites and apps, Etsy publishing partner sites, and Google Display Network site. Might take your product and actually promote it on Instagram and Facebook ads with it, which sounds great, right? But if you make the sale from, let's say, the Facebook ad, you have to pay 15% in a fee because they have promoted your product outside of Etsy. And this gets many sellers angry because the fee is so high. But what they don't understand is that if they didn't do the marketing in the first place, you will never receive the order. So it doesn't actually matter if their fee is 15% or 20%. You would never receive the sale either way. So it's actually worth it even though it's so high because you received a sale you wouldn't normally receive. I think it's great. So it's nothing to complain about in my opinion at least, but maybe you guys hate it and you can go to Facebook group and write if you want. If you make under 10 grand a year, the fee will be 15%, and if you make over that, they will lower it to 12%. Whoa. You can turn this off if you want, but if you're a brand new shop, I would totally recommend having it on because you need every sale. It's super important. You need to grow your shop and making those first sales and getting those first reviews. Languages and translations. It's nothing special. You can read this part yourself. Facebook shop, or they should actually call it Meta, right? It lets you share the product on Facebook and Instagram. I actually have zero experience with this. I don't know why. I just have never looked into it and I can't share my opinion. So if you want to do it, but I can't give you my personal opinion here. Then you have sales channel. This is where you click if you want to preview your shop. You can also click on your profile and on account information, and here is just all types of settings and information as you will find on any platform. So great, now you have that figured out. So now you know what Etsy is, you have created your Etsy shop, and you know how to use Etsy Shop Manager. And you have also learned a small bit of branding and making your shop look the best. I would also like to point out that shop branding is the first impression your customers will have, so make it count. You need a good shop banner, logo, and a good color palette. There are free tools like Canva you can use, and you don't need any graphic skills, and it's super beginner friendly, so check it out. So what's next? Market research. Finding the right market. So alright, let's kick off with market research. Before you decide what to sell, you need to understand the landscape. This is why market research is crucial. Market research helps you find demand for specific products and gaps you could fit in with products on Etsy. If you dive in without this step, you might find products that simply won't sell and are wasting your time. How to do market research. Start by browsing Etsy itself. Type in general terms like printables, budgets, wall art, digital, or simply things you like. It could be football, dogs, flower, anything you have in mind. As you scroll through, pay attention to what's trending and what's on the first page. Then once you found a product you like, click on it and go down to reviews and sort by the newest. There you can see how many reviews they are getting recently, and there you can see how much they are basically selling. If you see many floral themed invitation, it might be a good option to do something more modern or minimalistic. And I will give you a really good tip here on how I approach things. So for example, say you find flower themed invitation and it's selling like crazy. What you then do, just take the flower themed invitation and then create it on a new product. It could be digital planners, notebooks, digital file, printable wall art, anything. For example, this seller is doing great. Using research tools. Don't forget to leverage tools like Everbee and eRank. These platforms can help you analyze words, see what's demand, and even see how much things are selling right now. If you want a video on how to use them, please let me know down below. Find your niche. Once you have done your market research, it's about time to find your niche. This step is absolutely critical because the more specific you get, the less competition you will face. But be careful with this. So if you're brand new to everything with about selling online, you don't know maybe what a niche is. A niche is a focused, targetable segment of a market. You can imagine it being like your hobby. Instead of being the next Amazon, you can try to be more specific and aim for something smaller and more specific. Instead of selling flower wall art, it could be wildflower wall art. This might have been a bad example, but you get what I mean. But with this part, you have to be careful because you don't want to go too deep of a niche. So for example, I would personally never sell anything super niche like meal planners for 200 pounds men under the age of 30 living in the US. That is too deep of a niche. It could absolutely work, but I would not recommend it. Then I would not create my shop based on a niche and do it on everything because it will be too much. So for example, take once again the flower theme and just put it on everything. Printable wall arts, digital files, notebooks, etc, etc. It's just too much. I will create something like a budget shop and do different kind of budgets for family, business, living alone, living in a city, etc, etc, and making it very niche and just to one type of audience. And like I mentioned before, think a niche of like a hobby. So if you like cycling, type in bike digital on Etsy and see what comes up, and then go on from there. And here are some tips on finding your niche. Passion and expertise. Choose something you are passionate about or maybe have some type of knowledge. Competitive analysis. Look at successful Etsy shop in your niche. What are they doing well and what can you do differently to stand out from them and make greater. Creating your product, design and tools. So finally, let's talk about the product creation part. This is where you bring your ideas to life. Finally, you might think, choosing designs tools. If you're new to design, I will totally recommend Canva as it's very beginner friendly, free to use and have a lot of templates. For more advanced and if you have graphics experience, I would recommend Adobe Illustrator and it's super great and you can actually do everything yourself and make crazy things. There is a ton of software out there. It's totally up to you what to choose and what suits best for you. So you have the free hand here and choose whatever you want. So different types of digital products. Printable planners. These can range from daily to monthly planners, fitness trackers or meal planners. Art prints. Think about creating unique wall art or quotes that resonate with a specific audience. Invitations. Customizable templates for events like weddings, birthdays or baby showers. Worksheet or educational material. Great for teachers or parents looking for learning aids. And here is some of my design tips. Focus on cohesive style. Test your usability. Ensure your digital products are easy to edit and print. Provide clear instruction or even video tutorials if necessary. Creating your Etsy listing. It's time to create your Etsy listing. Make it count because this is what customers are going to see. Title. Start with primary keyword followed by additional descriptive words. A well-optimized title might read editable rusting wedding invitation, printable template, instant download. This gives potential buyers key details upfront. Tags. Etsy lets you use 13 tags and make sure to use all of them. Think about related keywords. Think about related keywords and phrases that potential buyers might use. Tools like Marmalade can help you find popular tags related to your products. I recommend to also have some of the tags like the title. Also use the main large words in 2 tags. So for example, you're selling once again a flower themed digital item. One tag could be flower digital and the second one digital flower print. Images are crucial because this is what customers are going to see and what they're going to buy with. Your listing should include multiple high quality images that showcase your product. Use lifestyle shots or mock-ups to help your buyers visualize how they will use your item. Tips for great images. Use bright, natural lighting. Include close-up to show details. Use mock-ups to display your products in real-life context, like a wedding invitation on a beautifully set table. Here we can use Placeit or Canva, totally up to you. Description. And the thing with description is that everyone have their own opinion of description. It could be why are you selling this type of product, why the customers needs this product. You could do a description of the story on the product itself or anything. It's totally up to you, and I will just say that do what you feel like is great, but one tip is don't make this description too long. Nobody wants to read a super long, boring description. You can structure your description like this. What it is. Describe the product, type and style. How it works. Include the details about how to download and use the item. Benefits. Highlight how your product solves a problem or meets a need. For example, this planner will help you stay organized and achieve your goals in 2025. Remember to keep your tone friendly and relatable. Buyers on Etsy love to see who they are buying from, so make it like you're part of one big family. Pricing can be daunting, but it's super important that you guys make sure to have the right price. Start by calculating your cost, including any design software, marketing expenses, and your time. Make sure you're covering your cost even with digital products. Competitive pricing. Research what others in your niche are charging. If your product is unique or offers additional value, you can justify a higher price. I recommend to always go with something that your competitors are selling and maybe try a higher price or lowering depending on the item. And then you have the classical physical pricing. Consider using a pricing strategies like ending in .99 or 95. We can sometimes make the price seems lower than in this. Sales and discount. Plan for sales or discount promotion, especially when starting. Limited time offers can create urgency and occur more purchases. Tips for optimization and shop design. Your shop design and your branding is super important. I personally love branding and it's actually really fun once you get to know how to do everything. First, you have the classical shop banner and logo. This could be anything in the world, but make sure it's actually professional and looks good. Then you can try to create some type of aesthetic for your shop. Then you could create a good looking aesthetic on your shop. You know, you have seen all of these Instagram that have really good aesthetic and everything looks like the similar, but with different kind of filters. You can do the same on your Etsy shop. Do the description, the title, the tags, and the products look all similar, but it's still different types of products. You get what I'm saying. SEO optimization. Regularly review and update your listing. Keep an eye on changing trends and keywords. Regularly refreshing your shop can help keep it visible in search results. But do this in the start and definitely don't do this if the product is selling. So if you're having a bestseller, don't change the keyword and description. I have seen this in Facebook groups and I go crazy over it. Don't chase anything if it's working. You have heard that before. And encourage reviews. Encourage satisfied customers to leave reviews. High ratings build trust and can significantly impact your shop's success. Consider following up with buyers through Etsy messages to thank them for their purchase and remember them to leave a feedback. But don't bribe them. It goes against Etsy TOS, so don't do it. You can't bribe them in any type of form. So you can't say like, if you leave a review, I will refund you 20% or anything like that. Don't do it, you will get banned. So let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid and things I have learned over the past few years. The first one is SEO and neglecting it and not doing it properly. If your products aren't optimized for search, customers may never find them. Take the time to do research and implement good SEO practices. Low quality images. Invest time in creating appealing visuals that showcase your product and good mock-ups that match the niche. So if you're selling wedding items, try to have some type of wedding background instead of a beige background. Ignoring customer service. You know what I talked before about, that if they want to cancel the order just a few hours after a policy, just do it, it's not worth it. Always have a good customer service on Etsy. Respond promptly to inquiries, address any issues, and engage with your customers to build loyalty. Rushing to launch. So when I started out on Etsy, I just wanted to get everything out there. I just wanted to create 50 listings a day, just spam everything, and it's not worth it. Always try to do a good quality listing. It's super important. Don't stress this, take your time, and trust me, it will just go so good for you. So now we have covered everything that has to do with opening your Etsy shop and creating your listing. Let's say now you have published your listing and it's out there. Once you have published your listing, it doesn't mean it's end here. You still have to be active and optimized and see what is working and what's not. I know some of you guys are probably just going to do a listing, put it out there and forget about it and think, I have done the part, why am I not making money? But it's not that easy, okay? You have to always be active. Watch out for trends, respond to buyers, creating new listings, new product, new niches. Find out every day you have to be active, okay? And if you are not active, I will be, and I will take your sales. There will always be some guy out there who's working harder than you, and it's super important that you guys also keep working hard and making sure everything goes as planned. Marketing your Etsy shop. So just because you create your listing doesn't mean anybody will see it. You actually have to do marketing, and it's of course the most important part. If you can do marketing, you can sell whatever you want in this world and still make a shit ton of money. You have to get good at marketing. So let's start with the first one, which is of course social media marketing. Social media is a powerful tool for promoting your products. Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok are especially great for visual products. For instance, create an Instagram account dedicated to your shop. Post high quality images of your products and share behind the scenes content to engage your audience. Don't try to sell them something, offer them tips and tricks and behind the content. And if you are willing to show your face, I know this might be hard. Trust me, it's super hard for me recording, but I do this anyway. So I actually have a pretty viral account here in Scandinavia, in Norway, Sweden and Finland on the FA brand, and I would totally recommend to do a lot of behind the scenes. It's super important, and I have received millions of views on TikTok. Engaging content. Use engaging captions and stories to tell the story behind your product. Show how they can be used in everyday life. Don't forget to use relevant hashtags to increase visibility. For example, if you sell handmade jewelry, hashtag like handmade jewelry and hashtag EtsyFind can attract more viewers. Collaborations. Consider collaborating with influencers or other Etsy sellers. You can send them a free product in exchange for a review or a shout out. This can expose your shop to their followers, potentially increasing your customer base. So I have worked with a lot of influencers, sending them free packages, paying them, and everything in between. But the thing is, I have done this for my website and not Etsy. I know it's actually pretty popular in the US that you can send them to influencers and they promote your Etsy shop. I have never done this, but I would totally recommend you guys to try it out. Then we have my big expertise, paid advertising. So the first paid advertising you have is Etsy ads. So what Etsy ads actually do is that, let's say you create a listing and you publish it. You will probably be on the page 15, right? But once you do the Etsy ads, you will just boost the listing and you will go to the first or the second page. The thing is, once a buyer clicks on your product, you have to pay marketing, of course. But what's really good about Etsy is that you only pay once they click. And that is crazy. Always track your ad performance. Use the analytics provided by Etsy to understand which ads are driving traffic and sales. Adjust your strategy accordingly to maximize your return on investment. For instance, you can turn off Etsy ads on bad performing products. The next topic is legal considerations. I personally feel I have the responsibility to actually tell you guys about legal consideration so you don't do this part wrong, and I know people that have done this wrong and it's not fun, okay? And the first one is of course the mighty taxes. Sales tax and VAT. Depending on your location, you may need to collect sales tax or VAT. Research the regulation applicable to your shop and ensure you comply with them. Tax resources. Consider consulting a tax professional if you're unsure about how to handle tax obligations. So once again, I'm from Sweden and probably you guys are from the US or Canada or anything like that. I do not know how you do your taxes, but I know how we Europeans do it, and if you're not sure how to do it, I totally recommend get help with it because you don't want to mess this part up. Copyright. Understanding copyright. If you use design elements, font or images in your product, be aware of copyright laws. Always ensure you have the right to use any materials included in your product. If you're planning to use Canva, which I guess you are, please read everything about Canva copyright. I will leave the link in the description. So I will just tell a short story about my shop. And that is, when I started my shop, I actually used copyright words. And the thing is that you don't know everything is basically copyrighted. So I will just tell a quick story about what happened with me when I started my shop. So a lot of words and phrases are actually copyrighted in the US. It's actually crazy, and I don't know how your law works there, but it's actually nuts. So I will leave a link in the description so you can search the words or phrase and make sure it's not copyright. For example, there are words like dog mama, bear mama, etc, etc that is copyright, and you thought, oh, that is great, I will make a designs based on that, but it's actually copyright and you will receive a copyright from Etsy and it's not good. If you receive too many copyrights on Etsy, you will be banned. So make sure you are not doing any copyright. And I know some of you guys are still going to be like, I do not care, and that's fine with me. Do what you want, but you will still be banned later on. And that's not fun. I think I got everything I wanted to say there. And there you have it, guys, everything you need to know about selling digital item on Etsy. This video could be of course 20 hours long and I could go everything super detailed, but I don't have the time and I think the video will be too long for you guys, so I just make it still pretty long but not super detailed. We could go a lot deeper in the legal consideration, the taxes, etc, etc. What I want you guys to understand is that just start the process and learn everything very simply and slowly, and over time you will be more professional and learn more advanced stuff. When I started my Etsy shop, I had no clue what I was doing, but I still just did it and eventually it worked out. And what I usually say and read on Etsy groups is that Etsy is not a race. It's a marathon, it's a journey, it takes time on Etsy. You could technically just create a Shopify store, find a product, go viral on TikTok and make 10 grand a day. But that's not how it works on Etsy. You could still go viral on TikTok and make a shit ton of money, but it's not how it works on Etsy. So you won't make thousands of dollars overnight, I'm sorry. But with consistency, and if you show up every day to Etsy and create the listing, high quality and have good customer service, trust me, you will start receive an income on Etsy. It's super great platform. If you find this guide helpful and just one of you guys learned anything in this video, I'm actually super happy. And don't forget, I have a Fiverr account if you need any help in writing your tags or titles or watching your Etsy shop and giving you a rating. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.